which means either I was stupid enough to get rid of it, or it's hiding. Welcome to I Have Yet to Read This Book with Chris. This is Chris. I have a little book haul. It's pretty small. I've been trying to be good. That's going to change probably very soon. I'm probably going to get a lot of books in the near future. So I've got a little book haul here. Books I have yet to read. And with that, I also have a couple of DVDs. While discussing these books that I have yet to read, The Claridge. This is very good. It's very clean. Thanks to Craig for suggesting this. I know you're not going to watch this, but maybe someone else will watch it and say, hey, he said thanks, Craig. So, pretty good. Alrighty. Books. Look, my first book is a little bit different from what I normally read. It's an autobiography by Richard Booth, My Kingdom of Books. Apparently, this guy was a bookseller, used book guy, and this was suggested to me from the Book Peddler YouTube channel. He's a fun guy. He's in upstate New York who owns 2 used bookstores. I think one of them is like a little more fancy and collectible, and the other one is just more of a traditional used bookstore type place. But he suggested I get this, and so this is the most money I spent on a book in a long time. I am also a used book seller, so I normally get my books at a great deal. This one is signed by it. I really hope this is worth it. It is a big book. It's an autobiography, but we shall see. First book on the stack. This is The Watch Below by James White. This is by the guy I did the video on, The Ambulance Ship. I believe this is part of that same series with the short stories and novelette that appear in Hospital Station, Star Searching, and Deadly Litter. I liked The Hospital Station. I thought it was a fun book. It's about, kind of think of it like Dr. House or one of those TV shows meets sci-fi. I'm surprised there isn't a TV show like this, although I'm sure there was part of that in Star Trek, which I never was a big fan of. But I don't remember where I got this, but that's another book I've gotten. The rest of these I bought at the used bookstore. I believe this is in 2 separate trips. Let's see. This is C.L. Moore, Northwest of Earth. I don't know who C.L. Moore is, but it's reprinted in the Masterwork series. This is not the same. I've seen other Masterworks reprints, and this is not the same, I don't think. I think this is Golden Age Masterworks. The other ones are different. But normally the stuff that's reprinted, actually modern, let's see, what year is this reprint? 2019. Normally they're pretty good. Let's see. Among the best written and most emotionally complex stories of the pulp era, tales of intergalactic bootlegger Northwest Smith is still resonant strongly more than 75 years after their first publication. From the crumbling temples of forgotten gods on Venus to the seedy pleasure halls of old Mars, these 13 stories blaze a trail through the underbelly of the solar system. The quick-drawing smuggler of the spaceways who would become the model for countless science fiction heroes, Northwest Smith is sci-fi's original outlaw. By C.L. Moore. Catherine Lucille Moore was born in Indianapolis in 1911. Prolonged illness, young. She spent most of her time reading fantastic tales in the day. A writer of science fiction. One of the first women to rise to prominence in the male-dominated world of early science fiction. Yeah, I've never heard of her. Pretty excited for it. My next 2 books are 2 of the Ace Doubles, the Ace Double features. The first one has 2 novelettes by Andre Norton, The Sea Siege, and then Eye of the Monster. Neither of these look like super exciting stories, but I love my Ace Doubles. It's in beautiful condition. And some of this old sword and sorcery type stuff, which this is kind of what this looks like, is a lot of fun. Usually it's not good enough to review, but it is a fun little read. Plus, great for my Ace Double collection. My next 2 are both by Marion Zimmer Bradley. They aren't all have the same author on both sides, but both of the ones I got this time were. Let's see, The Sword of Aldones, all lines of cosmic force met in their hands. And then The Planet Savers, one body, two minds, the world in the balance. I really like the art on that. I have no idea if it's going to be a good story or not, but it's a crazy cover. Happy of that for my increase my ace doubles. Last book, this one I actually got while I was in line checking out. They have one of those little spinny things that they use to hold books. And this one, apparently someone thought looked cool and they put it up there instead of in the normal sci-fi section. To sail the century sea, the further voyages of the ship that sailed the time stream. I love time travel, and this is time travel on an actual ship. All hands abandoned present. The Navy hadn't believed Lieutenant Commander Joseph Wright and the crew of the yawl Alice when they had tried to explain their absence without leave as a freak display of time travel, and they hadn't believed Wright's warning about how dangerous such travel could be. Instead, they had crippled the careers of good men for almost 10 years, just long enough to decide time travel worked, and just long enough to forget Wright's warning. So now Wright and the crew of Alice are being sent back in time again to nursemaid a landlubber scientist and a gun-crazy company assassin on a mission to abort one of the pivotal encounters of all time and make the world safe for democracy at last. I believe I've seen one of these books before, but I couldn't find it on my shelf, which means either I was stupid enough to get rid of it, or it's hiding. Maybe I have another copy of this, or maybe I have another one in this series, but I definitely have not read it, or any of these. But it looks like a lot of fun. Alrighty. And then I got a few DVDs that I thought some of you people might appreciate. This is Sci-Fi Classics, 50 classic sci-fi movies. I used to own this back in the day. The movies are awful. These are forgotten, and I'm pretty sure the reason they are able to do this is all of these movies fell out of copyright. Some of these are in color, some of them are not. Let's see, there's 4 Hercules movies. Hercules Against the Moon Men, Hercules and the Captive Women, Hercules and the Tyrants of Babylon, Hercules Unchained, The Horrors of Spider Island, Killers from Space, The Menace from Outer Space, Moon of the Wolf, Phantom from Space, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Oh, here's Son of Hercules, Teenagers from Outer Space, They Came from Beyond Space, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet, Warning from Space. These are going to be a bunch of crappy old sci-fi. I've watched a few. They were awful. Now I have this. $2 for this. You can't let that slide up. And when I moved probably across the country, I probably got rid of it. That's probably when I got rid of it. What a shame. And the rest of the DVDs are Eureka. The first season, the third season, and the 3.5 season. I don't know what 3.5 season means. But Eureka, fun old TV, sci-fi TV show, one that's right up my alley. Enjoyed it. I've seen every episode, most of them a couple of times. Never owned them on DVD, so. Alrighty, that is my little book haul. Expect the next one of these to have probably $40. It'll be a little crazy. Thanks for watching.